Hello everybody, and welcome back to episode 3 of Techopolis. And as you can see behind me, I have done a few things in between episodes. I reset up our tin and copper miners, which you've seen before. I also put back the lapis one, and then I decided to make a little bit of a grout making station, which consists of the miner getting us gravel, sand, and clay. And they are stored in these 3 drawers. Then in the back here, we have an item batcher, which has a buffer of 64 clay, gravel, and sand. And the filter is set so when we have 1 clay, 1 gravel, and 1 sand, it's gonna send a set of items forward into this factory, which can then start crafting those into grout. And here we just extract it into a drawer, and we have 2048 of grout. This entire contraption is actually 2 sort of contraptions, one of which is in front here. We have 2 generators running on creosote oil, which make 20 RF per tick, so they can run the pulverizer and the redstone furnace as well. And we just have some barrels so we can transfer items between them as we need to. So that is one part. The other part starts here. We have the coal generator, miner thingy. And that is putting all of the coal bits into here. And then we're extracting these 3, basically, and currently it's doing the bituminous coal and putting it into a coke oven, which the main part of this is to make creosote oil. So down here, we have a couple of floppers. These 2 go to the generators for the pulverizer and the redstone furnace, and this one goes into a pipe right over here, which is then hooked up to this fluid crafter to make ourselves the treated wood planks. And we need to give this guy a bit of power, so we have this generator here with the coal coke, and that is generating the energy for the fluid crafter. And then we have a drawer for planks, and as you can see, we have acacia planks, and those are coming from there, which we'll get to next. And then we just extract out of the bottom the treated wood planks over here. And over here, we have a tree farm. I firstly set up one where the logs were being smelted by a furnace and put into some generators to power the tree absorber. And it was fairly slow and not really what I wanted. And plus, since we have coal and we can easily generate it for no RF whatsoever, we basically just have this guy producing us coal. Basically, the coal gets extracted out of this miner somewhere in the front here. Yeah, it's behind this drawer. You can't really see it. But it goes into here and makes coal coke, which is then extracted over here for just storage. And then the creosote oil gets put into a generator to power this tree absorber somewhere here in the back. Here it is. The tree absorber requires 15 RF per tick to run. And we basically extract everything into some drawers, and then we extract the planks into a factory, which we then extract with a hopper into here to make just acacia planks. And this over here is a seared melter bronze making station. We have a casting basin, which is making blocks of bronze, and they are extracted into this compacting drawer. And we have like 1.4 thousand bronze now, and still a bunch more to make. And it's very simple. I just make the bronze dust manually, and I pulverize the copper and the tin in the pulverizer here, then make it manually, put it in here, and extract it into the contraption, which then makes it into bronze ingots, blocks, or whatever. So the reason that I don't want to automate this just yet of the auto making bronze is because it would be extremely difficult with everything that we have to make it fully nice and running. And pretty much all of these contraptions that I made are very, very temporary, because once we get refined storage, we're going to automate everything much more efficiently and neater. It's basically just so far that I could make a bunch of technium ingots, which we have 27 of them now. So we can start buying the tier 2 ores from the market and start progressing in the quest book here. And it begins here. We're gonna buy some redstone ore, some iron ore, aluminum ore, and I believe nickel ore. And firstly, we need to make a tier 2 miner. I don't want to craft a bunch of miners manually, so I just set up a factory over here, and I believe it should start working as soon as I give it all the items. We should start seeing miner tier 1s in here. Oh, it's gonna fill up everything it can with smooth stone. Okay, that's fine. Yeah, I mean, we can try and help it along by putting like a stack of smooth stone in each corner. There it goes. Miner tier 1. Auto crafted. I also made a backpack in between episodes, so I basically finished off the quest line for the basics because that was pretty much the only thing that we were missing. And it's really nice. I can press B and I have access to all of these things. I also bought the quantify key and the drawer key from the shop because I decided to AFK overnight, and we now have 122 tech bucks in here for all of our needs. Because basically everything for the ore part, the things that we're actually going to use and need, these ore nodes, are gated anyway. We need the technium ingot of the next year to buy the next year of ore, so we basically don't need tech bucks for the ores. We only need tech bucks for cosmetic things like chisel and storage drawer upgrades, flight, or anything else really. I also made a few more of these ortho-dimensional hyper furnace upgrades, and I have 63 in here, so this basically smelts a stack at a time, not a stack and one, which is super weird. It should be just that if you add a stack, it would smelt a stack, but it is what it is. I wanted to craft the miner tier 2s on camera, but I pooped the clip, so here they are. So we're gonna place them on all of the 4 ores that we need to generate. And as soon as we have one chunk of each, we can extract it out and complete the quest. And then we need to get an aluminum ingot, a nickel ingot, an iron ingot, and a block of redstone. And we need to toss all of these in the pulverizer to get processed into the dust, and then we can smelt it out. We can now grab 1 iron, 1 nickel, and 1 aluminum, craft ourselves a redstone block, and then we need an ink sac, which we can get with basic mob essence to turn into black dye. And then 6 stone, an iron ingot, and a redstone makes us a crafting calculator. We can now mix 2 iron and 1 nickel into some invar, like that. We can also mix nickel and copper into constantan. There we go. With a little bit of invar, bricks, and nickel, we can make almost enough blast bricks. I didn't math right. I need 9 crafts. Not 7. Whoops. Now we have enough to make a blast furnace. And with the blast furnace, we can easily start making steel. And I think I'll put it right over here on the side because we have some coal coke over here, which we can use. And hammer, blast furnace. And in this pack, it's pretty quick to make steel, so you don't have to wait long. And it's a 1-to-1, not a 3-to-1 like it is normally. As soon as we grab this 3 steel ingots, we are going to be able to turn our blast furnace into an improved blast furnace by making those together into reinforced blast bricks. And I think we'll go 1 lower for this blast furnace because it's going to be 1 higher as the entire structure is built, like that. And then hammer to the middle. Huzzah! The improved blast furnace is great because it can auto input and auto output. So I put down a drawer here for steel, a drawer here in the back for slag, and on top we're just gonna have a chest and a wooden hopper for the moment, and we can autocraft steel. Next we're gonna make a tinker's workbench, which is the thing from thermal and can apparently charge stuff, like the configurator over here, for example. Next we need a bucket. And if we then craft our bucket with 2 steel ingots, we get basic mechanical pipe. So no longer do we need floppers for transferring fluids. Then a bucket plus 4 steel equals a dynamic tank from mechanism. Those 4 combined with an iron ingot gets us a dynamic valve. And a glass with 4 steel makes structural glass. A basic hopper with some redstone makes a fast hopper. The next step in our technical journey will be to get a metal press, for which we need a redstone engineering block, a regular old piston, 3 steel rods to make ourselves some steel scaffolding, and a really expensive heavy engineering block, which requires a full steel block over here. So that should allow us to get and construct the metal press. A simple structure like this will make us the metal press. The metal press is kind of useless if we can't make some dies for it, and dies meaning molds is what I'm trying to say. We can also make some engineer's wire cutters. If we crush up some wood in a pulverizer, we get some sawdust, which we can easily turn into 6 paper, which we're then going to put in a crafting table like this to get the engineer's blueprint for the metal press molds and the engineer's blueprint for crafting components. And the first metal press mold that we can make is the plate mold, like that, which we can then easily add to our metal press. And this guy needs some power I don't know how much exactly it needs to run. For the moment, we're just going to use a generator with some coal blocks because we have pretty much unlimited coal. And we can toss in some steel ingots like that and they get tossed over here. It's so cool. The vertical conveyor belt is so fancy. And we get some steel plates, which, if I'm not mistaken, we can put in here. And now we can make a mold for gears and then a mold for wires and also for rods. We now have access to plates. A more efficient way of making copper wire because 1 ingot turns into 2 wire instead of 3 ingots to 1 wire. Our chest over here is getting pretty full, so I think it's time for an upgrade. We're gonna do this, and that should be a double chest in 1, which really doesn't solve my issue. Can we go any higher? I think the next step is gold, which is, yeah, gold is tier 3. That's not gonna happen. Well, that just condensed my problems into 1 block, not solved them. We also now have access to a magmatic dynamo, which we can upgrade to a thermo generator, which will produce 45 Fe per tick if it has lava on top and then water pumped into it. So that is pretty cool. So you don't need a lava generator to run it. That's neat. Now that we can make iron plates, we can also make a fluid pump, and we can upgrade that to a fluid absorber, which is why we saved these 8 lava buckets. If we now place our lava buckets like this, and hopefully not mess up, and here, we should start collecting lava. Maybe you need power? You do need power. Where the thermo generator should come in. Well, we need to generate water before we can generate lava, so I need another one of these. This water one requires 1 Fe per tick to generate water. There it goes. And this guy requires 5. So I think we can use this thermo generator, and we're gonna try and sneakily place it somewhere underneath here, and then probably we can pump out some water through the middle block. I managed to get it working. I firstly read that you need lava above, but you need lava below. So now this guy is producing 45 Fe or RF or however you want to call it per tick, and it's running our lava gen. So we're eventually going to get 10 buckets of lava, which means that we no longer have to worry about getting rid of these 8 buckets of lava because we have infinite lava pretty much. One thing that we have access to now is vacuum tubes. With those, we can craft ourselves garden cloches. So we can automate our food production, which I don't think we're gonna do just yet because we have still 270 cooked potatoes and 400 and something raw potatoes. So for food, I think we're good for a while. And once we get to a stable source of power and we start rebuilding the base properly, we're gonna set it up somewhere. We also now have access to the crusher, which I don't think we're going to set up just yet because it requires a whole lot of blocks. So I need to farm a bunch of iron and nickel and invar and all of that good stuff. So we're just going to check this box and complete the quest with the loudest noise ever. I don't know how to lower that, so maybe I'll just lower my master volume down a little bit. I don't know if I'm actually going to use minecarts for anything in this pack, but we might. I don't know, it could be fun. So let's get started with crafting some silica steel mix. And I think I'm gonna do 32 for the moment, and we can get it smelting in our furnace that is now over here and not over there. We then need to make some regular rails. We're gonna make a rail crossing and also some powered rails, which in this pack are made with Constantan because we don't have access to gold just yet. We then need a minecart and a minecart with chest. Then we need our silica steel, which we turn into a minecart loader and a minecart unloader. And we also need to make a powered locking rail. I have no idea what that does, but it is in the quest. And the last thing in this quest line is a covered conveyor belt, which can prevent us from picking up stuff on the conveyor belt. So you can basically walk over it and not pick up items that are on the belt. We can also now upgrade our basic generators into Stirling dynamos. And if we bring our casting basin over here, we can possibly put a little bit of automation on it by taking something like this, a barrel on top and a barrel on the side. and we extract out of the barrel and out of the casting basin, and then we put in some stone brick. We should start getting aqua bricks. Nice. I decided to change this up a little bit. We have the thermo generator now here on the bottom, now that we have access lava, and we can just transfer power to both of these, so we don't need the solar panel anymore, so this works during the night as well. And we also have the seared casting basin over here, turning stone bricks into aqua bricks. And I also made a basic fluid tank, so we can store 14 millibuckets of lava. Since we have access to power down here, and also we can pull out the lava from the top, we can just start crafting ourselves obsidian with aqua bricks and lava in a fluid crafter, like that. And we have come to the next step, which is advanced technium, which requires 32 obsidian, 16 steel, 16 aluminum plates, 4 constantan gears, 32 invar ingots, and a basic technium plate. And I think this is a good wrapping up point for today's episode. We got a whole bunch of things done. We almost completed the tier 2. All we need is the advanced technium, which hopefully we can get to in the next episode. And with all that being said, I want to thank you all so much for watching. I really am hoping you enjoyed today's episode. If you did, make sure to smash the like button. You can also subscribe to get notified of when new videos go live. And I will see you all in the next episode. Have a good one. Bye-bye.